Mars, lover of all things iconic, and there is so much happening in fashion this week. I mean, creative directors, deaths, resurrections, rebirths. There's so much going on in fashion, so let's get right into it. If you're new here, I'm Mars, lover of all things iconic, and I do all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle. Just get into me. I'm that girl. Like, ask your neighbor. Don't ask my neighbor. Hey, talk to me. Let's start out with John Galliano is leaving Margiela after 10 years, after a decade. We all knew this was coming. It was leaked, I think, about maybe a month and a half ago, but now it's very, very much clear. John gave us a beautiful exit on his Instagram, talking about his time in Margiela and how much it has meant to him and how much it has made him grow. What I love about John leaving Margiela is that he is leaving on such a high note. The Artisanal 2024 runway show is the top show of this year, hands down. Nobody topped it. Nobody will top it. We're at the end of the year now. I don't know. Even next year, nobody may not top that show. That show really grabbed the attention of the entire internet world and took it by storm. And I haven't seen fashion do that in such a long time. Like, you have pieces that go viral here and there, but for a whole show to go viral, and I'm not just talking about the clothes. I'm talking about Pat McGrath's makeup. I'm talking about the hair. I'm talking about the scenery and the setting. Like, just everything went viral. Everything went viral. And John, he has been doing this since the 80s. So for him to be able to continue to draw excitement through fashion, well, 20 years way after his career, I mean, after the start of his career, that's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. Of course, everybody is wondering where's John gonna go next. Some think he may go back to Dior. I could see that happening solely because there were a lot of people who would go to John for remakes of his Dior stuff, but he would use Margiela's resources to make them. He did it for Rihanna at the Met Gala, I forget what year. He did it for Zendaya at this year's Met Gala. Like, so if the girls want what he did at Dior, I could definitely see him going back to Dior because Dior needs help bad right now. The girls are not buying it. The designer, Maria, trash. She gotta go. Out the door, you got to go.
Yup.
My friend Young Fleur, make sure you're following him. He thinks that John Galliano shouldn't go to any house and he should bring his namesake brand back. And I could see that happening too because on the secondhand market, the girls are still after Galliano original pieces and they're very, very hard to come by, but they're great pieces. And I could see that happening too because I didn't think he didn't really get to flourish in that area. So I think it would be great for him to bring his own brand back because it would sell. Like, John knows how to design clothes and the girls want them all the time. Like, Dior, the new Dior not selling, but that old John Galliano Dior is going for thousands upon thousands on the secondhand market. So I think either way, if he goes to Dior, if he does Galliano, but like I said, Margiela, John Galliano graduated in 1984 from fashion school. I'm looking at my notes. Hold on. I think since the early 80s. I know it was the early 80s. John Galliano graduated fashion school in the early 80s, so he has been doing it since the early 80s. So what if he wants to retire and not do this anymore? But I don't know. John really loves the craft of fashion. Like, he really lives and breathes it. So I don't know, that may not be a possibility right now, especially with him being such a hot in-demand designer. Like, the girls want John to design. So even if he was to retire, I don't think the girls would let him go. Like, they would keep bothering him for like new pieces, resurrection of old pieces. Like, John, people just need his perspective on fashion, and he's going to continue to give it because it's John Galliano. That's what he does. So I know you're wondering, if John is leaving Margiela, who's going to be at Margiela? And I think I have the answer for you. Upon hearing this news, when the rumor came out like a month and a half ago, I immediately thought that Glenn Martins should be the creative director of Margiela. Maison Margiela. Why do I keep getting that wrong? I mean, I am drinking a little bit of red wine. Let me get a little sip. Hold on. Maison Margiela. Glenn Martins would demolish Maison Margiela at the helm of the brand. I really could see it, especially since Maison Margiela and Y Project, those two brands have very similar consumers. Like, I'm a huge fan of Y Project. I'm a huge fan of Margiela, and I feel that Glenn Martin's design aesthetic would fit perfectly with the Margiela house codes. Like, it would work like night and day. So if you're looking for a new creative director, which I know you are, that's going to be just as forward thinking and push the brand forward, I think Glenn Martin should go ahead and take that seat. Especially now that MM6 is about to take the lead after Rihanna has worn that dress. The dress with the stockings, like, MM6 is on its way, like, up there. I mean, it's already up there. The girls love MM6, but it's coming, like, out in the forefront now that, like, more people are wearing it. A$AP Rocky also had it on. They both had it on at the same time, just different looks. So I think that MM6 is really focused on, like, denim and, like, ready to wear that is very functional but also very, like, elevated basics, and that's what Glenn Martin specializes in. I think he specializes in making a denim jean just have a different cut, a different fit, but it's still a functional basic denim jean. And I think that I know that Glenn Martins could do his shit at Margiela and do his shit at MM6 and just kill it all, kill every piece of it. Dries Van Noten is also in the news this week because they have also selected a new creative director, and his name is Julian Klausner. I think I'm saying that right. He's a women's wear designer, and he has been part of the Dries Van Noten team since 2018. So it's great that they picked someone who was already in-house and who has worked under Dries. So Julian knows exactly how things are supposed to go. Before joining Dries, Julian interned at Thom Browne, Kenzo, and Margiela, so he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to design clothes, and he has, like, quite a bit of experience to helm a whole fashion house. He also graduated from La Cambre, I think I'm saying it right, along with very talented alumni such as Anthony Barcelo, who is the creative director of YSL, Marine Sir, and Matthew Blasey, the new creative director of Chanel. Dries released a statement in full support saying, "I have complete confidence in Julian's creativity and vision. He is not only a talented designer, but also a clear choice to take over after my departure. His deep understanding of the brand and its values would ensure a seamless transition and a bright future." So he got full support from Dries. I feel like this is already set up and in the making. I feel like when Dries knew he was about to leave, he probably took Julian under his wing, and from that moment on, he knew that Julian would be the person that needed to take over the brand and keep his legacy alive. Speaking of Matthew Blasey, he has just been appointed the new creative director of Chanel. I cannot be more excited. Because when I tell you, there have been so many rumors about who was going to take over Chanel, from Jacquemus to Marc Jacobs to Heidi Suleiman. Like, there was so many names in the pot to be chosen, and I'm glad that they chose Matthew Blasey because it's very, very unexpected, and Matthew Blasey is one of the top designers of the moment, and Chanel needs a top designer like Matthew Blasey who knows how to be innovative and who knows how to work with leather in a very unique way. Let's not forget the things that he's done at Bottega, okay? Let's not forget. Like, he made this whole look is made out of leather. Denim, that it looks like denim, but this is leather. This looks like a white cotton tank, but this is a leather tank. Like, the things that Matthew can do with leather is going to benefit Chanel in such a major way. Imagine the Chanel purses and accessories in general out of leather that are going to come out of Matthew's design and imagination. It's going to be sickening. Matthew was only at Bottega for 4 years, but what he did in those short 4 years, because he was appointed in 2021, and what he did in those 4 years will live at the brand forever. Like, there's no way that Bottega will be able to detach themselves from the house codes that Matthew has put in place, so he should be very proud of the legacy that he's leaving at Bottega. Chanel's president Bruno Pavlovsky, let's try that again. Chanel's president Bruno Pavlovsky stated that they chose Matthew so that he could push the boundaries of Chanel, basically saying that they want what he did at Bottega, they want that at Chanel. And I want him to bring back innovation in design to Chanel. I feel like I haven't, since Karl Lagerfeld left or passed away, I have not seen the innovation that Chanel is capable of in such a long time, and I feel like Matthew can bring that back and put Chanel back on top where they belong. But when I say bring back innovation, I also mean bring back quality, because I for one don't care how well the bag is designed. If it's not made with good quality leather, real hardware, keep it on the playground. So Matthew, I don't know if you need to get new manufacturers or what you need to do, but bring Chanel back to its prime, because if I was to buy a Chanel bag today, it's not coming out the store. It's coming out the secondhand market, preferably before the year 2000. Give me that old Chanel with the real hardware, the real leather, the real stitching, because the prices keep going up and up and up at Chanel, but the quality keeps going down, and I don't understand that. So Matthew, round the girls up and get us some answers today. So if Matthew Blasey is not at Bottega, who is going to be at Bottega? Well, Bottega also announced their new creative director, and her name is Louise Trotter. First up, can we get an applause? I am here for a woman creative director. Like, everything does not have to be designed by a white man. It does not. I feel like every time a new creative director is appointed, it's a white man. And can we get some new perspectives? You know what I mean? Like, let's mix it up. Let's throw some black folks in there. Let's throw some women in there. Let's throw some Asian perspectives in there. Like, people who consume these brands at high volume should be in the running to be creative directors of these houses. Like, and that's no shade. So kudos to Bottega for picking a woman and taking a chance on a woman, especially when Bottega is at the top right now. It would be very easy to go to a man, but they're going to try something new, and I, for one, I'm here for it. So who is Louise Trotter? She has spent the last 2 years as creative director at Carvin. I know her more for her work at Lacoste. Louise seems to be a fan of color, especially when you look at her work from Lacoste. So I'm excited to see what she brings to Bottega, because Bottega, they play in color a little bit, but it can be a bit muted. And I feel like Louise is going to bring like a bit more of a fun element to Bottega. Excuse me, child. Ooh, let me get another sip of wine, okay? Get this throat together. Hold on.
Cheers to the girls' weekend.
Y'all like my St. Laurent glass? Thank you. Might need to get a refill. Hold on. Yeah, so I am excited to see what Louise is going to bring to Bottega. I think she's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll be tuned in. And because Bottega's at the top, so everybody is definitely going to be looking at her first show to see what she does. One, because she's a woman, and people love to criticize women for any old thing when y'all let men put out horrible collections after horrible collection after horrible collection. But that's neither here nor there. I'm excited. I'm excited to see new direction. I'm excited to see new innovation. I'm excited to see new perspectives. So we're going to see. I got faith in Louise. I got faith in Matthew at Chanel. I definitely have faith in Julian at Dries Van Noten. Like, all of these creative directors that have been appointed, I am not disagreeing with any of them as of yet. Ciao. Why does Fashion Nova have tabbies?
What is this, honey?
Like, I'm not understanding. Like, this week, Fashion Nova released a tabby, and the tabby is $20. Not only that, it's BOGO. Buy one, get one, okay? So you're getting 2 pairs of tabbies. They're like tabby flats for $20. So that's $10 a piece. When I tell you, when you put these tabbies on, you're gonna get one good wear out of them. If that, your toes gonna be hollering. You're gonna feel every inch of the pavement on your feet, because Margiela tabbies and really good duplicates of Margiela tabbies, they have wooden bottoms. These, you're not getting that. So if you're going to buy the Fashion Nova tabbies, be very, very careful. Don't be embarrassed when the good sole of the shoe get the flapping and coming off. I warned you. And I'm not saying that you have to spend thousands of dollars on a Margiela tabby. You can also spend hundreds of dollars on a Woodchuck Saddle tabby. Or it's many Japanese traditionally
Enunciate. Aren't you college student? Pronunciate.
There are many Japanese companies that have been making tabbies for decades. And they're not thousands or hundreds of dollars. So buy it from a Japanese brand if you want a tabby so bad. Like, it don't take all that. So, but don't buy them from Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova, please. You know what? When it comes to Alexander McQueen, sometimes I wish that when he passed away, that the brand just would have been like, you know, a thing of the past. Like, Alexander McQueen made a huge impact, but I just feel like sometimes, like, to keep Alexander McQueen going without him being here, it can just be a bit tricky because Alexander McQueen, the brand, allegedly owes taxes, and the brand has failed to declare over 60 million euros. Okay, Kering, who owns Alexander McQueen, released a statement that they are in discussion with the Italian government to figure things out. They are confident that there's a misunderstanding and that they have paid their taxes and that they do not owe any taxes. However, the Italian Revenue Agency said they could not comment on an ongoing case. Basically, like, girl, we got a case going on, and until we figure it out, our eyes are on you. Okay, 60 million euros, that's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of coin. I'll keep you posted on what's going on with that. But Alexander McQueen, actually, Daniel, better make sure these next few collections get to generate some revenue because, babes, the brand needs it. Gucci released their new holiday campaign, and you know I was jumping out of my skin when I saw that Solange and Tina Knowles are the face of the campaign. Solange shared with Vogue Austria that she's had the opportunity to build a relationship with Sabato De Sarno, who is the creative director of Gucci, and she appreciates the kindness, warmth, ideas, and curiosity that he brought to her experience in fashion. There was an incredible synergy of ideas and philosophies in the way they were able to integrate them into their respective worlds. Really inspired her about what fashion can communicate. And we know Solange loves her some Gucci. If you listen to her album When I Get Home, she has a song called My Skin, My Logo, where she like, Gucci like to swang, Gucci like to bang, Gucci like to come down, he go hard and the pay with Gucci Man. So, Solange being in the bed with Gucci, okay? I love this campaign. It's very homey. It's very much celebrating the holidays at a black home with coin, might I add. It's just nice to see, like, Solange is at the forefront of everything in art, fashion, music, so it's nice to see brands represent and give her opportunities to show that. So, and anything Solange wears, I always want me a piece of it. So that Gucci bag, this Gucci black leather button-up situation, I'ma need it. Gucci, hit me up for my P.O. box. You can send it on over. Thank you. Speaking of the nose, the Mufasa red carpet was this week, and Solange's niece, Blue Ivy, is featured in the film as she is voicing a character named Kiara. So her and her mom, Beyonce, walked the red carpet. Beyonce wore the Balmain Times Disney collection that was released earlier this year, and Blue Ivy shut the carpet down, wearing custom Christian Siriano, and she looks stunning. This girl is taller than Beyonce at this point, and she is really growing into herself and finding her own style and just finding her own personality. And I love to see it because I'm a huge Beyonce fan, so I've been following Blue since she's been born. So to see the where she's headed, I love to see it. For those of you that are making clickbait engagement, asking if Blue's dress is too old for a 13-year-old, I think Blue is 13 now, 12 or 13. Kick rocks. Go play in traffic. Mind your business. There's nothing too adult about this dress, and I often feel that when it comes to black girls, y'all do not allow them to find themselves. You do not allow them to just be and exist. You're always trying to catapult them into womanhood, and that's a bit creepy. And you wouldn't do it to her if she was a white girl. So shut up, mind your business. She looked amazing, and I can't wait to see more red carpet looks. I'm hoping that they do more premieres in like London and Africa and just other places, and Blue shows up and shows out in every city that there's a premiere, just to make y'all mad, because y'all been hating on her since forever, and she comes back and stomps on you girls every single time. Fashion icon and legend Polly Mellen has passed away at 100 years old. Like, she lived a long life. Polly was a fashion editor at Vogue, working under the iconic Diane Freeland. She also spent time at Harper's Bazaar and Allure. Rest in peace, Polly. It's so weird when I learned about somebody after they had passed away. I had seen Polly's work a million times, but I never knew who to attribute that work to. She is known for executing one of the most expensive fashion editorials called, I think it's called The Fur and a Caravan, that was shot in Japan with like all of these expensive furs and minks, and it's stunning. It is a stunning shoot, and she really gave a lot to the fashion industry. And now that I learn more about her, I'm going into her archive and looking at a lot of her work, and I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Fashion editors are so important, and they deserve the world, because without them, some of these magazines would not be looking the way that they look. And to work under the iconic Diane Freeland, like, she knew what she was doing. She was one of them ones. So rest in peace, Polly. And a new segment this week is I want to talk about a black brand every week. So hit it for Black Brand of the Week. And this week, the honor goes to Tolu Coker. And this is the namesake British Nigerian brand founded in 2021 by Central St. Martin's graduate Tolu Coker. The designs have a key focus on construction and sustainability. Coker proposes a distinct notion of reformative luxury fashion that centers quality tailoring, cultural preservation, and collaborative multidisciplinary practice over the brevity of seasonal fashion trends. I saw Tolu Coker's most recent show, and when I tell you, I was gagged. Like, it was actually one of my favorite shows from the last fashion week, which was in September? Yeah, London Fashion Week. Tolu Coker was my favorite show. Like, the colors, the pattern, the all black cast of models. Like, she really is taking it. My eyes will be peeled, and I will be watching Tolu Coker. I hope to own a few of their pieces. But I want you to tap into Tolu Coker. She needs our support. She's bringing it. She is talented, and she deserves to be rallied. Like, she deserves for us to get behind her and support her brand. So if you haven't, research Tolu Coker, get into some of her fashions, and let me know what you think in the comments. That is your fashion news for this week. From John Galliano leaving Margiela to Matthew Blazy going to Chanel. It's a lot going on. Meet me down in the comments to let me know what you think. And as always, make sure you're subscribed and make sure those notification bells are on. And I will see you next week. Bye. Is she on? Is she muted? It's recording already. We recording, we live. Is you live, ho? Is you live? Like, please. I think I'm in the middle. Am I in the middle? I look like I'm in the middle. It's Mars, lover of all things iconic, and fashion news has been killing it this week. The